Hello everyone and welcome to my USA Tube Gossip channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. One aspect of the Daredevil comic books, the new television series Daredevil, Born Again, is certainly adapting faithfully is the almost constant string of tragedies in Matt Murdock's life. The series premiere divided fans by appearing to kill off Matt's best friend, Foggy Nelson, a favorite character among fans of both the comics and the previous Daredevil TV show, and this week's episode contains another shocking death. After being acquitted of murder charges, Hector Ayala, the latest client of Matt's law firm, returns to his alter ego as the superhero White Tiger, only to be promptly ambushed and murdered. Some viewers have objected to and criticized this plot twist, feeling that Hector could have added more to the series and the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole, with a larger, longer-lasting role. While this is understandable given how compelling Reyes' performance and the series' writing makes the character in his brief arc, as well as the scarcity of live-action Latino superheroes, Hector's death is the most believable and effective outcome, given the emotional and thematic points of his story, and it does not make him any less important of a character. First of all, it's worth noting that Hector also dies in the source material. The White Tiger trial is a story arc adapted directly from the Daredevil comics. As he is on TV, the comic book version of Hector is accused of murdering a police officer. However, in the MCU, Matt and his colleagues manage to get him acquitted, while in the comics he is found guilty. Panicking at the prospect of a lengthy prison stay, the comic book Hector uses his martial arts skills to lash out at the court officers and attempt to escape, but he is subsequently shot and killed by police on the courthouse steps. His trial and death exacerbated debates about the morality and legality of superheroes that were prominent in Daredevil and the larger Marvel universe at the time, eventually culminating in the original Civil War storyline. While these themes are still present, the MCU version of the story devotes more attention to the real-world issues of police corruption and brutality and institutional racism. Reyes Hector is not patrolling as the White Tiger when he gets in the altercation that causes his legal problems. Instead, he comes across a pair of men brutally beating a third, younger man, in an otherwise empty subway station. Despite not having his costume or the amulet that gives him superpowers, Hector attempts to intervene, and, when he refuses the attacker's order to mind his business, a fight ensues, during which one of the attackers falls onto the tracks and is hit and killed by an oncoming train after trying to rush at Hector. Only after this does the other attacker pull out his gun and badge, identifying himself as a police officer and arresting Hector. Throughout the trial, the surviving officer is shown to be part of a larger ring of corrupt cops that attempt to kill the initial victim to prevent him from testifying on Hector's behalf. He and several of the other dirty officers are also shown bearing tattoos of the distinctive skull logo initially used by anti-hero Frank Castle / the Punisher. The assassin who kills Hector wears a vest marked with the same logo, with a much more likely explanation being that it is one of the police, rather than Frank himself. A bystander interviewed for the in-universe video journalism series The BB Report expresses his doubt that Hector will receive a fair trial, noting how few Puerto Rican defendants do in the American criminal justice system. By connecting the storyline to the real-world problem of biased prosecution of marginalized communities, the writers arguably make a dark ending necessary. While the more optimistic conclusion of Hector living to fight another day would have the benefit of allowing either later episodes or other Marvel projects to further develop his character, it could have easily come across as naive. The assassination is sadly a more believable choice, showing how clashes between citizens and corrupt police usually end for the former, regardless of whatever evidence or legal decisions are in their favor. Hector's murder could lead Matt to resume his own superhero identity as Daredevil, which he had abandoned after Foggy's death, or at least come closer to doing so. While Matt will almost certainly attempt to bring the corrupt cops to justice, his methods for doing so may not be that heroic. His attempt to kill Ben Poindexter / Bullseye for killing Foggy has made both Matt and the viewer scrutinize his crime fighting even more closely than usual, but the subsequent blow of Hector's death could push him to even further extremes. Promos for the series show Matt having a conversation with Frank in which he appears to be either requesting that the latter help him with, or perform a crime-fighting mission for, him, either of which would be a dark sign for Matt's current relationship with his moral code. Although they had developed a grudging respect for one another by the time of their last on-screen interaction in Daredevil Season 2, Matt was still subsequently shown to disapprove of the lethal approach to fighting crime that Frank employs on several occasions. So, as infuriating as the actions of the cops are, Matt either sanctioning, or worse, carrying out their murders in retaliation for Hector would be anything but a victory for the character. Finally, as tragic as Hector's death is, it does not mean his legacy will also die. In the comics, after his death, his niece, Angela del Toro, and sister, Ava, both take up the White Tiger mantle at different times. Hector is said to have both a sister and a niece in Born Again, suggesting one or both could appear later on while on paths to heroism, possibly even helping Matt defeat the cops. Likewise, the Officer Morales named as an unseen supporter of the White Tiger could be the father of future Spider-Man Miles Morales, and the latter could be inspired by Hector's heroism in addition to Peter Parker's when he is introduced to the MCU. So, what do you guys think about this update? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like my videos, please press like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time.